Hey y'all, thanks for tuning into the Nintendo Drive. If you're hanging out with us on YouTube, be sure to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell icon so you never miss an episode. Or, if you're getting cozy and listening to us on your podcast feed, make sure you're following and leaving us nice reviews. You can also support the show on Patreon and pick up some awesome merch. Links to those and more are in the description, but let's get the show started.
Hi, hello, what's up,
Hi.
gamers? Hi. What's up, everybody? Hi, I hope you're well. I hope everybody's hanging in there. We made it. We pre-ordered Switch 2s, and we lived to tell the tale, barely.
Mm-hmm.
I am bright red. If anybody who's not watching the video version, I look like a damn tomato over here.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Seth. Yeah, you look a little red there, buddy.
Look, sunburnt, out in the Texas heat for 4 hours today, trying to pre-order this thing. We will get into that, Lockleth. Don't you worry, my friend. We had very different experiences pre-ordering the Switch 2.
Yep, there's so many ways that I cannot relate to your story. That's all I'll say right now.
You actually had probably the easiest experience pre-ordering the Switch 2 of anybody that I know. So
I mean,
yeah, sips Red Bull. We will get into all of that. It's good to see everybody here tonight, here in the chat. I'm seeing a lot of oh no's and oh mans in the chat. Yeah, it's pretty rough, you guys. It's pretty bad.
It's rough out there.
Look, I just got out of a cold shower maybe 30 minutes ago. I am more aloe vera than man at this point. I am as slick as a salamander with aloe vera all over my body. Okay? That's where I'm at. Mitch says he just walked into a GameStop 15 minutes ago and got one. I don't believe that. I don't believe that one bit.
You think he's lying?
Who knows? Probably. Mitch has been known to do that. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, well, Lockleth, before we get into things, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. Whoa, what was that? You're like kind of...
I caught them in the air and I threw them because I don't want to be housekeeped.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Well, you're gonna get housekeeped, man. We got housekeeping to get into. Well, first of all, thank you so much to Jack, Jakk, who joined over at the Patreon as a free member.
Is it Yak?
Oh, it is Yak. You're right. It's Yak.
Sorry, Yak.
Sorry, Yak. I don't know if that's meant to be, maybe it's like Jack and Daxter, Yak and Daxter or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, thank you very much for checking that out. You too can check out a free trial over there, patreon.com/carpoolgaming. We dare you to try to get through all of that content in a week. We dare you to do it. Yak, try us out. All right. Speaking of Patreon, we have a couple of things to talk about here. First of all, we appreciate the support on Patreon. I've talked about this a lot recently. Apple's introduced this 30% fee for Patreon users that support and sign up via the iOS app. So if you do choose to support us on Patreon, we appreciate it, but just use the desktop app instead of the iOS app so you don't have to pay Apple any additional money. Over on Patreon, we also have early access to the Mini Indie Van podcast that is hosted by Fulia. And that is a dedicated podcast all about indie games that is currently in early access on Patreon. So please give Fulia your feedback so she can improve the show and refine it and fine tune it. And I'm doing like a motion like she's hitting it with a blacksmith hammer right now, Lockleth. That's what I'm picturing Fulia doing.
Is that what it's doing? Is that what she does?
That's what I think. She's hitting it with it just with a blacksmith hammer, refining that podcast.
Okay.
In early access.
I'm not going to say what I thought that sounded like, but anyways, continue.
Okay. All right. I won't tug that string. I want to, but I won't do it. We'll move on. Speaking of, we have a bunch of stuff to talk about tonight, of course. I do want to take just a brief moment. This has actually nothing to do with Nintendo or the Nintendo Drive show. But it does have something to do with carpool gaming at large. And I just want to honor this a little bit and talk about it for just a brief moment. brief moment, if you will, here on the show. If y'all are not in the Discord, you might have missed this. If you don't follow us on Blue Sky, you might have missed this. Two of our beloved Carpool Gaming co-hosts, Matt and Ron from the PlayStation Drive, have decided to step down from Carpool Gaming. We announced this, I think, yesterday. We've known about it for a little bit longer than that, but we announced it yesterday. And if you're a PlayStation Drive fan, there will be one final episode with them on Sunday, April 27th at the usual time. And after that, the PlayStation Drive will be on an indefinite hiatus as we are working behind the scenes on what's next. And it's going to be exciting. Please be excited for it. But before we do anything, we just want to honor their time here. And we want to wish them the best and give them kind of the final send-off that they deserve. So just wanted to, snaps, just wanted to give Matt and Ron a little bit of love here on the show for anybody who's also a PlayStation Drive fan. And speaking of, Matt does have a final episode of Pants, the Pants Patreon podcast for Patrons podcast, that is out right now. So you can listen to Matt's final episode of Pants if you would like. And I'm up next. And I'm on Pants next. I'm recording that either tonight after the show or early tomorrow morning. So if you're watching us live, you still technically have time to put in your questions for me if you have any. So go right ahead. Oh, Mitch says, since I'm such a liar, Seth, I sent a screenshot to you. You're welcome. Oh, hang on. Let me see what Mitch has here. Okay. Yeah, Mitch does. I mean, Mitch did at 5 p.m. his time put in a $50 minimum on Mario Kart World Bundle. I'm seeing the picture right here. So he's not a liar. Mitch did it. So.
And you thought he was not telling the truth.
There's been no precedent for this at all in the past of Mitch not telling the truth. No precedent whatsoever. You also pre-ordered Donkey Kong Bonanza. Good for you, Mitch. I like to see that. Good man. Anyways, so we have that going on. We also have merch. Carpoolgaming.com. Yeah, is the credit card info on that screenshot? Yeah, that's why I'm not going to pull up any personal info. I don't want anybody to know where Mitch's local GameStop is or anything like that, because that information is on the receipt. But so anyway, we have new merch, carpoolgaming.com. We do have the Bobby's Bulbs spring collection is back for a limited time that Locklith designed. As a matter of fact,
I made it.
It's up now. So you can do that over there on the merch store and website. You can even gift merch to Twitch chat anytime that we're live on Twitch. So you'll see that option there if you want to pull that up too. And we appreciate y'all for doing that. Okay. Oh, you know what? One last bit of housekeeping here. In 2 days' time, Locklith, on Saturday the 26th, I will be going to Dallas, Texas. Yes, Locklith, you're raising your hand.
I'm listening. No, I'm listening.
Oh, you're listening. I see. Mm-hmm. I'm going to Dallas, Texas for the Nintendo Switch 2 hands-on event. I will be playing the Switch 2. I will be playing basically every game, like Mario Kart, Metroid Prime 4, Donkey Kong. I'll be playing all that stuff. Tears of the Kingdom and Tatki and Batwa and all that stuff. I'll be able to play all of it. So if anybody has any questions before I go to that on Saturday that you guys would like me to, anything you want me to find out or answer, let me know. Put a comment in the YouTube video or leave a comment in the Discord or whatever, and I'd be happy to do that. On the next episode of the show next Thursday, I will be debriefing myself on.
Ew, I don't like that. No, change it.
I will be debriefed.
Nope.
Debriefs is real. It's a real term, Lachlan. It's
it
not
is.
like
no,
brief.
I work in the corporate world. I understand the term. That doesn't mean I don't like it. Like I hate it. Okay.
Fair enough. I will be the way I wanted to phrase it was I will be revealing all.
Nope. Hate that more.
And I realized that's not better.
Nope. No,
I will
sir.
be sharing my thoughts on the Switch 2 hands-on event.
Thank you.
Next week on the show. So please be excited for that. No-nos in the chat. What if you hate it after already sort of buying it? So I guess I'll just cancel my pre-order if I go over there and it sucks. But I feel like that's not going to be a thing. I guess we'll find out. Yeah, debrief and reveal.
Nah.
Well, yeah. Hey, guys, Switch 2 kind of sucks, actually.
Pass.
Yeah, pass, actually. This wasn't worth it. But no, we'll find out, and we'll come back next week on the show. So if you have any questions or anything you want me to look at, track down, anything specific that you want to make sure that I hit on, just let me know. And next week when I put out like the questions, call for questions in the Discord, I'll go through and make sure to ping people for that too. So anyway, that is what is going on. Locklith, what have you been playing, my friend? What's been going on?
Well, Seth, pretty much the same damn thing. Okay. I feel like I've become the Mitch of the Nintendo Drive because I've literally just playing South of Midnight on Xbox.
Yep.
And Portal 2 with Rybo on Switch.
That's it.
That's literally all I'm playing. That's it.
That's okay. Yeah.
That's all she
nothing
wrote.
wrong with that. Any new updates? Anything you want to share? Yeah.
I think I got to chapter 9, or I'm like close to chapter 10, or I just started chapter 10. I'm in between those two for South of Midnight, in case you lost the plot.
South by Midnight.
Yeah, South by Midnight, South of Midnight, whatever you want to call it. South of the Midnight, who knows? South of the Midnight, Under the Blue Moon, we're going to call it now.
I love that, okay.
Just make it really long. I'm in between like 9 and 10. I believe there's 14 chapters, so either it'll be done in 2 streams, or I'm thinking, Seth, and I'm saying this here first, out loud, on CPG versus my own channel.
Exclusive.
Yeah, an exclusive right here. You hear it here first, people. I may just finish the whole damn game on Sunday. I'm just going to stream it till I finish
Let's go. Okay.
I'll just start after lunch and we'll just see how far I get.
Yeah. How far you'll go, Moana. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hell yeah. I love that. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, stay tuned. That'd be good. Yeah,
and
that'd
then
be awesome.
Saturday, more Portal 2 with Rybo, of course. We're going to play it in the afternoon. And then, not what I am playing, but what will I be playing?
Your front log, so to speak.
Currently, at the very tip of the front log, if you will, is Oblivion. I'm going to play Oblivion.
Oh.
Another Xbox game, I know. Just listen, okay? It's nostalgia. It is Locklith lore. I played it on the 360 back in the day, so I'm excited.
Did you? Yeah?
Yeah.
Played it? Mm-hmm. Did you play a lot of it? Like, were you really into it?
I played a little bit of it. I don't remember a whole lot. I played out of, like, the Elder Scrolls games. I played ESO, like, Elder Scrolls Online, the most.
I remember you played that. Yeah.
Yes, I played the hell out of that one. But Oblivion, I do remember playing on 360. Liked it quite a bit, and I'm excited.
Okay. Hell yeah. Very nice. Well, I'm glad you're going to be playing it. I have been playing it for a little bit. I'll share some thoughts here. Really, again, has nothing to do with Nintendo, but I'll talk about it anyway. Who cares?
It doesn't matter. Who cares?
Yeah. Anything else? Anything else you've been playing? Anything else on the front log?
That's really it. I'm kind of thinking about what will be my next Switch game because I have been neglecting the poor thing. I did start an Animal Crossing Island like a month, 2 months ago, and then I haven't played it since, so maybe I'll go back to that, but we've all heard that song and dance, so we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I'm kind of in this weird holding pattern with the Switch where, like, it's one of those things where when you know that the new thing is about to come out, it's like that Toy Story meme, like, I don't want to play with you anymore. Like, that whole thing.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. I'm like, I just want the Switch too, man. I'm over this thing.
Like,
you know?
the Switch is the thing drowning in the pool, and the Xbox is like,
yeah.
You know?
You're lifting him up, like, ah.
Yeah.
Having a
100%.
great time with your little baby. Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally. Like, that's kind of how it feels right now. I'm kind of just like, yeah, man, like, I'm just kind of ready to move on, you know? Like, I'm ready to get onto the Switch 2, and I don't know. I'm in a bit of a holding pattern right now. Yarden says, even looking at the Switch 1 disgusts me now.
that made me laugh so hard.
I don't know if it goes that far, but it is a little bit like, for me, I definitely have that feeling of like, you know, it's like whenever I had this feeling when like I was about to move too, where like everything sucks now. All the restaurants I used to like suck now. You know what I mean? It's like that classic feeling. So kind of just waiting it out. And luckily we don't have long to wait. It's like a month and change away. So
It's a Thursday still, right? The day that it actually comes out? Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to put in vacation that day and the next day after.
Oh, nice.
I think that's the move. Because we'll get into how I acquired mine, but it would be nice if I was off work that day so I could go with another individual to go pick it up. We'll get into it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so my store is doing, my GameStop where I pre-ordered it is doing a midnight release. So on the Wednesday night, I will be there. I think they're actually going to be able to sell it to me at 11 p.m. my time. Because I think it's like midnight Eastern that they're basing it on.
Oh, of course.
So yeah. So if you live like if you live on like the West Coast, like you'll be able to get it at whatever 9 p.m. You know. So
lucky ducks.
Yeah. So I'm gonna probably be able to pick mine up at 11 p.m. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, make sure to debrief before that midnight release, says Tony Baker in the chat.
Exactly why I was laughing.
Absolutely. I definitely will. And I'll have to record like an unboxing and stuff, and we'll see what happens. A lot of things might change before then. But also, you think about it, we've got the Switch 2 launching on June 5th, and then we have Summer Game Fest, like what, a day or two later?
Is it
or something
really?
like that? It's like the 6th or the 7th, I think. It's very soon after. And
I must Google
so
this.
there's just, yeah, do it. Yeah, give it a Goog if you'd like. It's going to be like a big week of news. I think Summer Game Fest is on the Friday, if I'm not mistaken. I think it kicks off the weekend
literally
of showcases.
June 6th, the day after.
Right. So, and you know, we here at Carpool, we go big for Summer Game Fest, y'all. So, yeah, it's gonna be a big week, dude. We're gonna be playing Switch 2.
Well,
we're
I'm
gonna be doing Summer Game
definitely
Fest.
gonna take off that day and the day after. Then I completely forgot about Summer Game Fest.
Please be excited. A lot of stuff happening. Okay, well, I'll be quick with mine. I just have a couple of things to talk about. So I finished Promise Mascot Agency, which I talked about last week on the show. I don't really have much to add that I didn't talk about last week. I
Nothing
really
more to
enjoyed
say
it.
about my girl Pinky.
About Pinky, not really. I helped her become mayor.
Oh, yay!
Yeah, so that was good. It's a good game. Like I liked it a lot. It's one of those games where like, you kind of the entire experience is so good that you're kind of willing to overlook a lot of its faults, you know? Because I do have like problems with the game, but it all comes together like in a really good way. Like it's not as objective as, you know, graphics and, you know, this or that, and then like, you know, like to me just the actual experience of playing it was so good for me, and I put like, you know, over 20 hours into it. I really liked it. So yeah, I finished that up. So we were on stream, twitch.tv/carpoolgaming live, and Sean was just going through a bunch of the ID at Xbox codes that we get, you know, sometimes. And one of them I just kind of offhandedly mentioned, like, yeah, you know, I wouldn't mind checking out Blueprints, you know, because everybody's talking about Blueprints.
Yeah.
And Sean goes, I think we actually have a code for that, and if you want it, you can take it. And I was like, sure. You know what I mean? So it was like a code that I could use on my PC. So I popped that in, and I've been playing Blueprints. I'm probably 10-ish hours in to Blueprints. I played a decent little bit of it. I don't know if I like it or not. I don't know where I come down on with it, because like, on one hand, it's really cool, and like the mystery of the game is really neat, and I like solving the puzzles. I love talking about the game with people, because like to play Blueprints.
Wait a minute. Can I just put a pause on what you just said?
Yeah.
You prefer talking about the game more so than playing the game.
Absolutely. Because the Blueprints, like when you're playing it, it's almost like you're learning to speak another language or something. So like my friends and I are texting each other like, oh my God, I found out how to drain the pool. Or I had a friend message. I woke up to a friend, to a message from a friend the other day, and she had just written in all caps, Christmas. And and I knew exactly what she meant when it, you know, relates to Blueprints. It's weird. It's like you're in this weird little Twilight Zone with a bunch of other people playing the same game, and like just learning I have a little moleskin notebook that I keep on my desk that I've been taking notes with for Blueprints.
Oh, you used a good notebook for that. Like moleskin notebook.
Look, this thing, I got this from PAX. It's a Penny Arcade themed moleskin notebook.
I never use those. I'm like, this is too pretty to use.
I
It
love
just sits there.
these. Yeah. Actually, not my favorite notebook of all time, but it's great for little scrap notes. So, I go through and I write my little notes, and like you have little random the scrawlings of a madman in there because you just see words like purple division in there, and it's like, what the hell does that mean?
Our office supplies podcast coming soon.
I would be down for that. I love stationery, and
I'm like a little kid in an Office Depot, like RIP to all the stores that are shutting down. But like back in the day, Office Depot and me were like this. We were tight.
Have I ever told you the good news about the Pano book?
No.
Have I ever told you about the Pano book? Hang on. Quick pause on what I've been playing.
Just pin the actual... We do talk about games here, but also gamers you can come back in just a moment, okay?
Pin that for just a moment, gamers. We're going to do the stationary podcast for just a quick second. Let me tell you the good news about the greatest notebook of all time. It's called the Pano book. And I've been a big evangelist for the Pano book for many years now. So this is a notebook that it is grid-based. So, it's got like the ruling.
I love a good grid. Yes.
Grid-based dot grid as well.
Oh, hell yeah. Yes, you're speaking my language.
Perfect to connect things with, to write on, and all of that. The paper is very high quality. But the big thing about the Pano book is you can have it horizontally or vertically, and it's like perfect. Like you can have it like, vertically to the side of your desk. You can have it right here in front of your keyboard. It's perfect. And like it's got this great like material on the outside. It comes with a little sleeve that you can write on the outside of. It is perfect.
Okay. Okay. Send me this link. I must buy it now.
I will. This company, Studio Neat, they just make my favorite like office supplies. Like the Pano book is just like, it is the perfect. I've never needed another notebook. Like, it's the perfect notebook.
I love grid paper, but especially the dotted grid paper. Listen, gamers, hush. Okay, this is our moment.
It is a beautiful, beautiful notebook. I love it. I've bought probably 12 of these over the years, and just filled it with like D&D notes, and it's a beautiful, beautiful notebook. I highly recommend it. So
do you use a notebook? Would you use a notebook like that to take notes? Playing blueprints or not? I
would use it for anything, but currently I'm on my last like good Pano book, and I didn't want to fill it with blueprints notes. I wanted to use it for other things. So, but if I'm doing like, for example, an interview, I love to take like handwritten notes, and I interview independent developers and stuff all the time on something like the KoopaCast, and I'll write my stuff like in my Pano book, like my questions and the points I want to hit and stuff like that, because it helps me to do that stuff physically. Like it helps me to remember what I'm actually like wanting to say,
Yeah. I'm the nerd at work that I started a new job. Hello. Hi. If you're new, I started a new job. I just finished, or I'm finishing my 3rd week. So like I'm taking like stupid scribble notes as things come up to like quickly write it down. Cause it's so fast paced. I just got to write it down really quick. And then at the end of my day or at the start of my next day, or even pause while I'm at home doing nothing, I take out that silly scrawled notebook and I rewrite the important things onto my nice notebook so that I can comprehend what I learned at work. Yes, I'm one of those nerd people. Okay.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with that. I love it.
There's nothing wrong with it, but also my brain's broken.
I mean, look, again, if you're looking for, and they're not paying me to say this, I wish they would. Studio Neat, if you want to sponsor this podcast, I'm A-okay with that.
I'll buy 10 of those notebooks and then sponsor us, please.
Pay me in free Pano books, and I'll shill for you as much as you want, dude. It's just a great product. Like, it really is. It's one of those, like, I'm telling you, the second you order it, you'll be like, this is it. You know what I mean? I've talked about it before. Like I got on the Stanley thing before it became cool. And it was like, this is the perfect water bottle. I never need another water bottle. You know what I mean? Carhartt shirts. I never need another shirt. You know what I mean? So just every now and then you just find the thing.
I almost bought another Carhartt shirt the other day.
It's perfect. You never need another one. It's absolutely perfect. I'm sorry.
I've got one Carhartt sweatshirt. In my closet, like but it's too hot, so I need like a t-shirt version now. I need to be like Seth, wear a black tee with little Little
Yeah, it's
Carhartt.
got the great pocket. Slide my phone in there. It is wonderful. So I love it when a company can just make like the perfect version of something. I love that. And they have made the perfect notebook. It's called the Pano book. Tell your friends. Really good. Anyway, Blueprints.
Do we bring the gamers back? Okay, gamers, welcome back.
Come on.
Hi.
Come on back,
Welcome to the
gamers.
show. Hi. Hello. Hi.
Blueprints, it's good. It's cool. I do have some annoyances with it. It is a roguelike, so it is very like RNG heavy. For those who don't know what the gameplay of the game is like, you're kind of like working your way through, you've inherited this mansion, and you're kind of like working your way through it, drafting new rooms, and kind of building out the house around you, in order to try to find like the secret 46th room of the mansion. And once you find that, then you get to actually keep it. So that's kind of the main objective of the game, but obviously it's much more complicated than that. And every time you open a new door, you have this kind of like 5x9 grid of like rooms, and you're choosing between a selection of like 3 to 4 rooms to like kind of build out around you. And there's a lot of strategy involved. You have to like even think about the amount of steps that you take. You have to think about that. Like there's a lot of planning.
I was about to sing every step you take.
yeah. You have to think about that kind of thing. And you know, I've had many moments playing this game where like I have like the perfect run set up, and if I could only just like, so many times I'm like, if I can just pull this one room, or like if I can just find this one item, then I can do it.
Is it like gambling in a way?
A little, but it's like it can be really frustrating because like I'm just like, dude, I just need literally this one thing, and then I can like do everything I need to do, and my life will be so great. You know what I mean?
I just picture you being like, I just need this one thing.
Just
please.
This one thing. If I made the room where there's a bunch of like, dig spots in the mansion, but I can't find a shovel to save my life. I got this key to this place that I need to like drain the fountain from, but I can't pull the pump room to drain the fountain. Dude, it's very annoying, but the game is really cool. Like you feel like a genius when you solve some of the puzzles, and I really like talking to people about it. And Tapeworm here in the chat says Blueprints is so deep it's crazy. It is. Like I really like that about the game, but it's also pretty annoying at the same time.
Yeah. So. The more that y'all talk about it, the more I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of glad I didn't start, because I probably would have just left so quickly.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it is very cool, and I find myself wanting to play more of it, but I don't know, man. Who knows? I also did pick up Oblivion Remastered. Lockcliff. I did play that. I actually was surprised at how nostalgic that game is to me, because I'm with you. Like that game was the game that made me like get an Xbox 360, and playing this remastered version, it has been very nostalgic. I do have some problems with it. I do have some issues with it. It is cool. Like I do like it a lot. I'm glad they did it. I also think it's cool that they released it at like a budget price. Of course, it is on Game Pass, but like if you don't have even if you don't have Game Pass, like I don't have an Xbox, and I don't think my PC could run it well, so I bought it on my PlayStation, and it wasn't full price. Like it was $50. Like it was not like a full price release. So I thought that was cool. It comes with all the DLC, which is great. It comes with all that stuff. And, they did a huge visual overhaul to the game, which I feel a little mixed about because it objectively looks a lot prettier, but also some of the vibes of the original game. You remember how the original game was very like the bloom effect was like crazy? Like everything was so shiny and like bright and kind of like...
Yeah.
It had like... almost like a dream-like ethereal quality to it,
like a fuzziness dream.
Yes, yeah, kind of like that kind of look, and I think that worked really well for that game, especially for the time. We're talking about a 20-year-old game, and here, like, it's, don't get me wrong, very pretty, but they're going for more of like a realistic kind of look, and so I do find myself kind of missing the way that the original game looked in a weird way, but still very cool. The combat still sucks. Anybody who defends Elder Scrolls combat, It sucks. It's just hitting back and forth. There's no strategy or nuance to it. And yeah, you can do like the the ranged attacks and all that stuff. And yes, you can do magic. The magic kind of sucks too. The combat's just kind of boring in these games. Always my least favorite part of these games. So like I actually found myself, and I don't normally do this in games, I just cranked the difficulty to the easiest setting so that I'm just like one-shotting everything.
Welcome. That might be me too. Yeah.
Yeah, because like I don't find the combat interesting enough, and I'm just kind of getting it over with so I can go back to what I actually like, which is exploring and stuff like that, So, but it's cool. Like the movement is really good. I always like the vibes of the game. Like I always liked how the game kind of had this like Lord of the Rings kind of vibe, but also there's like a little bit of weirdness to it. I always like the vibes of Oblivion. Like it's a great game, and I'm glad it's out there. But also, there's still some stuff that just is true about Oblivion, and they haven't really fixed, a lot. So,
well, I shall create my character tomorrow.
Looking forward. Do you know what kind of character you want to play? Do you know what race you're gonna do? Or
I really don't know. I'm just gonna go off of what I'm feeling tomorrow night when I decided to start it up. So
yeah, fair enough. I predict Wood Elf for you.
That's a fair assumption. I usually pick an elf type of character, a night elf, a wood elf, a blood elf, whatever. Yep.
That's I predict a wood elf from Lockleath.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. Okay. Well, I look forward to hearing more about that. Talked very little about Nintendo games, as it turns out, here in the What We've Been Playing segment. But before we get into everything that happened today, because of course we did get a lot of questions about that, and we'll get into that, but there is a question that I wanted to unpin, Lockleath, from last week, because I thought it was a great question, but also this is the kind of question that we could literally theme an entire episode around, but we have a lot of big episodes coming up. Like next week, I'm going to debrief and reveal on the show. The week after that is episode 200, and we have to do something special for that. Right? So I realize that if we don't answer this question this week, we're just never going to get to it. So I thought we would go ahead and unpin this question from Riley King and get into this a little bit. And then maybe later on, because the theme of this question, as y'all will hear, could very easily be its own episode. And Riley, we do reserve the right to make this the topic of a full episode, sometime soon. But I thought we would at least answer it here on the show tonight. Riley says, I just bought a modded Game Boy Advance today and a copy of Wario Land 4. What are your 3 favorite GBA games of all time? It's a big question. Like, we could do a whole GBA episode.
Yeah, it's a big question, and also, I did not have a GBA.
Okay. Yeah, so I didn't know. That was curious.
That was the one handheld I did not have Nintendo-wise. I went straight from the Game Boy Color to like a 2DS. Yes. Like I didn't even have like the DS. I had like a 2DS and then a 3DS. And I didn't have a Wii U, so I guess that's technically a handheld system as well. So I skipped that one. And yeah, I did not have a Game Boy Advance. So I'm not gonna lie, I can give you suggestions, but like I don't know how these play. I don't know what they're like.
Okay.
I could just give you suggestions on a hope and a prayer and hope you enjoy them.
Throw some out there. Why not? I'll commentate if I've played them.
Yeah. I feel like you have to have like a Yoshi's Island, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a GBA port of Yoshi's Island. Yeah. It's good.
There's so many on here. Like I'm looking literally popular GBA games.
Yeah.
You got Kirby and the Amazing Mirror.
Yeah, you don't need to play that.
Oh my God. Okay. Fine.
This is probably the worst Kirby game.
Let's go Cozy. Let's go Harvest Moon. Friends of Mineral Town, the OG one. I know you can play a version of that or Mineral Town. I don't think it's not Harvest Moon anymore, right? It's
Story of Seasons.
Yeah,
now.
Story of Seasons of Mineral Town or something. You can play Harvest Moon of it. So I don't know.
Nice.
Literally just scrolling. Mario Tennis Power Tour.
Hey, those Mario sports games on GBA are really cool. Those games are made by Camelot, which is actually they're still made by Camelot, but
somebody else made it.
yeah, somebody else made it, but those were the developers of the Golden Sun games. And so if you look at footage from like Mario Golf and Mario Tennis on the GBA, it's literally the Golden Sun engine. Like it looks like Golden Sun. It literally is. Yeah, Yarden says, Locklith, just say Super Monkey Ball Jr. Not a bad Monkey Ball game. It's all right. It's not, it's one of the not bad ones. For Monkey Ball on GBA, it's not bad. I'll give Riley my top 3 here. It's funny because I do think that 2 of the 3 best GBA games do involve Wario. I think Wario totally owns the GBA. Like, my favorite GBA game, WarioWare Inc., Mega Micro Games, the original, the OG, still one of my top 10 favorite games of all time. I love that game. Wario Land 4, I've talked about it on the show. Phenomenal. I think that would be my number 2. My third place is a little bit harder. I have a couple of things in here. I've talked about this game on the show before. Kururin is another favorite of mine. It's on NSO as well. Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, I think, are great. I also wanted to shout out, I knew you would like this, Locklith, Hamtaro, Ham Heartbreak.
I forgot about Hamtaro.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some good
100%.
Hamtaro games on GBA. Ham Heartbreak is my favorite of the Hamtaro GBA games.
Oh, Hamtaro's so good. I love that show.
Yeah. You would like that game because Ham Heartbreak is kind of like, I wouldn't call it an RPG, but it is a little bit like you're helping people like kind of become friends and stuff and like solve their problems, and it's like a cozy little thing, and it's Hamtaro, so it's very cute, Yeah, it's great.
Hamtaro.
Yeah.
I found another one. It's called Digimon Battle Spirit.
Okay, I've not played that. Yeah.
Oh man, I was a Digimon girly back in the day, so anything Digimon,
you?
I'm like that. I want that.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, okay. Ryan gave his GBA top 3: Metroid Zero Mission, Shining Force Remake, and Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland. Yeah, Nightmare in Dreamland is definitely the Kirby GBA game you should play.
Yeah.
If you're gonna play a Kirby GBA game, play that one. Yeah, there's a bunch of good ones. Yeah, the Golden Sun games are great. Astro Boy Omega Factor is great. There's a ton of great GBA. Zelda Minish Cap. I mean, we could go on and on. Like I said, we will someday do like a dedicated GBA episode because I think it deserves it. But I did want to at least just give Riley a few suggestions since Riley is diving into this world for the first time. Of course, JB mentions Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, another classic. So yeah, there's a ton. We could go on and on. Okay. Well, with that being said, Locklith, let's unpin this Switch 2 pre-order thing. We have a bunch of questions about it. We'll share some of our thoughts and our stories, some worse than others, shall we say.
I wonder who.
Yeah. Okay, so first of all, I put out the call for questions this morning from the line, from the actual pre-order line at GameStop. And Yon32 didn't submit a question, although he did submit a GIF that was like, it said like, so how's your day going, with a kid just being hit in the face with a dodgeball. So to answer your question, Yon, that's about right. That's kind of how it feels a little
That's
bit.
why Seth has a red forehead.
Yeah, I got smacked in the face by a dodgeball. That's what it was. Also, Quaggy left a question and said, "It is I, the Quaggy, king of the Xenobabes. Anything cool happening? I hear people are complaining about the lack of sleep from last night. Did I miss something?" And I do. And the reason I bring this up is I do want to give Quaggy some credit, because Quaggy has been probably, out of all the people, certainly in our community, probably the person who has been the most like vocal and making very good points about why he's kind of nonplussed by the Switch 2. And he's been very very vocal about that. And one thing that I noticed that I saw a lot of is people like backtracking, like today and with the pre-orders and stuff. All the same people who have been like vehemently against the Switch 2 are all the same people who lined up for pre-orders, right? And to Quaggy's credit, he's sticking to his guns from what I can tell. So I do just want to give Quaggy some credit on that.
He's buying it for his children, though.
He might. I don't know. And again, no shade to anybody who cares. No. Do what you want to do. It's video games. Have fun. I don't care. But
yeah, I don't care.
It is just, I am seeing a lot of that. And to Quaggy's credit, he's like, hey, man, did something cool happen?
I will judge you on what notebook you write in. on a daily basis, but Switch, forget it.
Yeah, who cares? Just have fun. Life's too short, man. If you change your mind on something, who cares? Doesn't matter. But Quaggy's sticking to his guns, and I respect it. We had a bunch of questions that were kind of in this vein. Antic said, "Hey all, hope your escapades today went through smooth enough. What was the most agonizing gaming event of 2025, and why was it the Switch 2 pre-order queue?" Yeah. Bowser says Quaggy's one Xenobabe game away from Switch 2. Let's be real, and he's been straight up about that too. Quaggy's like, hey, like the second they do that, you know what I mean? So, and then Pat says too, I also didn't give in. It's so expensive. Yeah, man. Like there are people who are not about this. Fulia was on the show last week, and she's like, I'm not into it. You know. So let's see. Who else had a question of that effect? Nagachaka said, what was the most frustrating event of the year, and why was it fighting against bots and broken websites last night and today trying to pre-order the Sweet Potato, aka the Nintendo Switch 2?
I just love how all of these statements are so negative, and like my story is not at all negative whatsoever.
Yeah. So we had multiple questions that were essentially like, hey, why did this sucked? Essentially was like the thrust of a lot of the questions, right? Mm-hmm. So let's get into this a little bit. So to set the stage, last night the online pre-orders went up at midnight, essentially midnight Eastern, I think. And we saw people, like I saw people on Blue Sky talking about it. People in my group chats are texting me about it. In the Discord, people were in like a voice chat F5ing all night together.
Really?
Yeah, there was like I don't know, 6 to 8 people.
I went to bed at 11, y'all. I don't know any of this. I went to bed. I went to sleep.
I was never planning on pre-ordering it online anyways, but for some reason, like I had such a hard time falling asleep last night because I was just, you know how I get. I was sitting, I'm worried about my friends. I'm like, I hope everybody gets what they want. You know, I was literally up last night, like worried that my friends weren't going to be getting like what they wanted, you know, and I had a hard time getting to sleep. And yeah, it sounded like it was terrible. Like it sounded like it was just all the stories that I've heard. It sounded like it was abysmal. The whole process of getting like an online order. But I know, a lot of people were able to get their online orders in, and those who didn't try to get physical in-store pre-orders today. And some people did both. Like I think Sean actually did both. I think he was able to get an online order and a physical order. We should also say Amanda's not here. Amanda is in London.
I love how we're just now referencing that Amanda's not here. She has not been silent this whole time. Nay, nay, audio listeners.
And Amanda, welcome to the show. Like 43 minutes in, Amanda finally pipes up. No, she's in London. And actually, Rybo said one of Rybo's questions is, "Hey gamers, did anyone order one for Amanda?" I can confirm 2 things. Amanda did get to London safely.
Yes.
So that's great, obviously. But also Amanda did manage to get a pre-order for Switch 2. So her brother came through.
Yes.
So,
family.
yeah.
Shout outs to family,
Shout outs to family. So that all happened. We had all the online stuff going on. And then, a lot of people were going to GameStop this morning to do like the physical pre-order. And Lachlan, why don't you tell everybody how your physical GameStop pre-order experience went?
Well, so I went to bed at 11, slept like a baby, felt great, woke up, went to work, worked all day, y'all. So how did I get a pre-order in physically in the store, you may ask? Don't you worry, don't you fret. Because I sent my dad, Jammy, to go to the store, and not just any GameStop, the GameStop in the mall locally, so that he could stay inside. He didn't have to be super early. It didn't open till 10, so he got there like a few minutes, 5 minutes before 10. I will say, when I brought it up to him last night, I was like, oh, like be prepared, like to have to wait, and he was like, for a Switch 2? I was like, yes. I was like, this is my life, Dad. This is the conversation. I was like, this is my life. I'm like in this community, and this is all
I have, Dad.
This is literally a thing. Like you don't know until you're there. Well, He did know, but he waited in line for like an hour. Like by the time he waited in line, by the time he cashed out, it took him an hour. And he got me the actual bundle. And in fact, I will show my physical early because it's related to this. I'm not going to show anything other than the top part of my receipt.
Yeah, be
that
careful
I have.
That. Yeah.
that I have. And then they also passed out these little things, which were the GameStop like trade-in stuff. Because I am going to trade in my Switch Lite when I pick it up. But he did acquire it for me. He sent me photo evidence of like how long the line was, like told me they're letting people in 2 at a time. And I'm just sitting there at work, just doing my work stuff, getting little updates from Jammy. And then Tammy's at home getting her little updates as well. So it was so easy, Seth. I could have napped, and within an hour I had the Switch. You know?
I love it.
Yeah.
Listen.
How was your time though? I want to hear about your journey. I want to know, like, you know, how you became a tomato. Were you in VeggieTales? Were you not? Like, what's going on?
I did think about VeggieTales. I did think about having a Bob the Tomato joke.
Yeah.
I did think about coming in here being like, have we got a show for you?
Hell yeah. Only me would be like, I know what that's from.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shout outs to all of our Christians out there.
Yep. Shout outs to Christians, man. We know.
Bless up with the VeggieTales lore. Lachlan and I have had many conversations about VeggieTales over the years.
Man. As soon as I say VeggieTales, the theme song, it just pops in my brain.
Yeah. So yeah, I will say, I mean, and there's by the way, a ton of love for Jammy, aka Yammy, in the chat.
Apparently. I don't know if I like that. I think just Jammy makes sense.
Yeah, so a lot of love for Jammy the GOAT, Jammy for the win, Jammy #1 dad, #1 pops. That's love. A lot of people showing some love to Jammy. So I'm really glad that he had a smooth experience.
He did.
On behalf of you.
And he messaged he was messaging me and my mom throughout the whole thing too. And my mom was, I don't know if my mom said like, oh, she's so spoiled, but like she said it in like a cute way. And then my dad's like, yeah, she's got me wrapped, like I have her wrapped, or how does it go? She's got me wrapped around her little finger. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like,
well,
thanks.
I
Thanks,
mean,
Dad. Love you. I knew I was the favorite all along.
I mean, sometimes it's just that obvious. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, so my experience was not like that, decidedly. Yikes. But I will say, so you had posted in our Nintendo Drive group chat, like him texting you about the line and everything, and that was when I actually like looked at my wife and I was like, man, like I'm seeing a lot of people saying that people are like lining up. Like everybody that I knew that was going to a physical like in-store event had lines, and I didn't know what the vibe was going to be like here because I'm used to small town Louisiana. Yeah. Like I'm used to being able to roll up there 10 minutes before they open. You know what I mean? Like I know like everybody that works there and I've known them all for 15 years. You know what I mean? Like I'm used to being able to pre-order stuff with no problem, no waiting in lines or anything like that. I've been spoiled for so long.
Oh yeah, same. This is the first time that it wasn't that way.
Right. And so now like I live in a much bigger city. And I saw the allocations were posted on the door like the night before. They're getting 20 regular, Switch 2s and 43 Mario Kart bundles. So I said, okay, like I can probably show up. The store opens at noon. I can probably show up at like 10:30, 11 and be fine. You know, it would be okay. And I'll be within the first 43 people. No problem. We get that. I got that text from you. And it was at about 9 a.m. my time. And I looked at my wife and I was like, I feel like I should go over there now. Like, this is all making me very nervous. Yeah. So we drive up there and there's already about 15 people in line. And this is 3 hours before the store opens. And so, and mind you, this is 85-degree Texas heat, right? So I go out there and I'm like, well, I guess my wife was working from home today. I'm like, I guess I'm lining up now. You know what I mean? See you in 3 hours. And I kind of just posted up and miserably sat there and waited with everybody else. And the vibe, like I heard some, like I think NoNo's was in the chat. Our Discord chat was blowing up with people in their lines.
Every
right?
2 seconds there was a message in there. Yeah, all day.
So we're all just talking and we're sharing, like swapping stories about our lines and our pre-order experiences and stuff like this. And NoNo's just like, oh, the vibe here is great. Everybody's so happy. It gave me some faith in humanity. The vibe at mine, miserable, dude. Everybody was so pissed. And nobody wanted to be there. Everybody was frustrated. Oh my God.
Man.
Like, it was like just everybody miserably staring into the middle distance in the parking lot, being baked by the Texas sun.
Listen, y'all, the Texas heat ain't no joke. The southern heat, like I
was
feel for
rough.
you. I get it.
Yeah.
It was 85 degrees up here today, and I thought it was hot. Like, I can't even imagine what it was like down there.
It was bad. It was really, really, really bad. About an hour in, my wife came back to the line, and she brought me a lawn chair, which was a huge help. I will say, shout outs to my wife for that. She really pulled through with the lawn chair. That was great because then I could actually sit down and I had my headphones and I could kind of listen to podcasts. Shout outs to Drew's here in the chat from the House of Mario podcast. I was catching up on the latest episode of that. I was listening to House of Mario and just kind of like hanging out because nobody else was really doing anything fun or noteworthy or excitable. And anyway, I waited for about 3 hours. And then when the store finally opened, kind of like you were saying, they were only letting in 2 people at a time. They also only had 1 employee working there. So I think
that's how this one was too. Yeah, just one guy.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Jonah, you know?
Yeah, just one dude running the whole thing. Only 2 people like let in at a time and had to be brutal, you know, for them. Had to really suck for them. I'm sure they were dealing with that like all day. There was one person ahead of me in line that was also trading in a Switch at the same time, which took up a ton of time, as you can imagine, because they got to test it and everything else and process it. So after the doors opened, I had to wait another hour before I even got in, right? And at this point, everybody's just miserable. We're just baking in the sun, just wanting to run off into traffic. Like that's all I was like, dude, there were several points during the wait where I was like, I don't know if this is worth it. I was like, maybe I should just like order it online and just have it shipped. Like I literally thought that at many points. I was like, I'm going to call my wife and I'm going to get the hell out of here.
I'm still laughing at going into traffic.
Look, it was a bleak. It was the vibes were bad and it was a tough experience.
Oh my God.
In addition to that, so I came in with kind of a battle plan. I knew exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
And everything. And I was coming in there. I'm like, I'm going to fully pay off the Mario Kart bundle, you know? And that was all coming in. I'm like, as long as I can get that, I'll be happy.
So what's the positive of like paying it off up front right then and there versus
not
later?
Having to think about it ever again is the positive.
Okay.
Now
like,
I just got.
I have the money now. Take my money.
Yeah,
okay.
Totally. Because it's one of those. I could have put the minimum on it and paid it off slowly, but I've been saving up like kind of as we've been waiting for this to happen.
Yeah.
I had the money put aside and I was like, I want to just get this done and I want to not think about this again until I go to pick it up. You know what I mean? So yeah, shout outs to Daniel Hinojosa, one of my best friends in the chat. Protect your peace. Absolutely. That's exactly what it was. It was protecting my peace. I was like, I just want to be done with this. You know what I mean? And so I get in there and I pre-order that. I did put the minimum down. I pre-ordered a Pro Controller. I pre-ordered Donkey Kong Bonanza. And I pre-ordered a camera. I don't think I'm actually going to get the camera. However, my wife's kind of like, my wife is pretty excited about the new Mario Party Jamboree stuff. So I kind of want to get it for her so that she can play all of those new mini games. So I don't know. I figured I'll pre-order it now because another factor in this Locklith, everything was limited. Everything had like it wasn't just the console that had allocations. Everything had, even the games had allocations. So like I heard stories of people who were like, oh yeah, like by the way, Donkey Kong is sold out. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, it was kind of important. If I even had like a thought of getting something, you might as well pre-order it. And worst case scenario, you cancel it later. You
Yeah.
know?
I wasn't thinking about the games part of it or like the accessories or any
Yeah.
of the, all of that. I was just like, if I can get the bundle with Mario Kart World, I'm fine. I even
Yeah,
told my
me
dad,
too.
like, if they don't have that when you get there, just get the system then. Like, I just need, at the
I'll take
very
what I can
least,
get.
the
Yeah.
unit. Like,
I'm with you.
please.
Yeah, no, I had these thoughts in my head of what I wanted coming in, but as long as I got the system, I was good. So I did secure the Mario Kart World bundle. I did pre-order a Pro controller, a camera, and a copy of Donkey Kong. Yeah, and Bowser says digital games aren't sold out. And I'm not
100%.
against that either. Yeah, I'm not against that either, by the
Yeah.
way.
I'm weighing those options for sure. I think that's the other
Totally.
thing.
Yeah, totally. So that's kind of where I'm at with it too, and we'll see how that all shakes out. But that's what I pre-ordered today. But the GameStop employee that was there, and look, I worked at GameStop for many years, so I know how it is. And like they have numbers to meet, and they're having a lot of pressure from the company. The guy tacked on warranty pre-orders to everything that I ordered that day. So pre-orders for warranties.
Checks receipt. I don't know if my dad had to do that too.
I mean, you can look at it. Maybe they snuck that on there too. But at my store, I was just happy to be done with it. I was like, I'm just trying to pay for this and get the hell out of here, right? So I get back to the car and we go to leave, and I look at the receipt, and there's like $5. I'm like, what is this? And he, without asking me, just threw $5 minimums on the pre-orders for the warranties of everything that I bought that day.
That's stupid.
And
They
I'm
did
like,
not do that to Jamie, y'all. Don't fret. It's fine.
That's good. And I'm like, this is shady. So what I'm going to do is, and it's not like a little bit, it's like $25. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go up there whenever I go to pick everything up. I'm just going to cancel all that and be like, hey, dude, like I saw you did that. I don't want this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm just going to cancel that and put it on my Pro controller. It's my money. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
like you didn't ask for it. He didn't ask
No.
you if you wanted it.
Nope. He didn't ask me if I wanted it or anything like that. He just did
no.
it.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, I wasn't thrilled by that. And I was talking to some friends of mine that work at GameStop, and they were like, yeah, just whenever you go up there, just cancel it, put it towards one of the things you're picking up that day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, it is what it is. But we secured the bag. I'm very sunburned. I don't know how well it's coming through on the camera. But I'm
I
sunburned.
love your lighting system in your room, but it ain't doing you favors tonight. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
Yeah,
the
that's
pink
true.
with the red face. I mean, we could have
Yeah.
gone with a green. Maybe it would have canceled that out a bit.
I don't have. This is all I got. This is what I got, man. This is what I got to roll with, dude. I'm sorry. Italian Adonis Seth. Yeah. Well, the funny. We'll see how much. Yeah, I'm glowing. Says Fulia in the chat. Glowing like a radioactive nuclear waste was dumped on me. Maybe.
You were gonna get sun at some point in the summer, anyways. You might as well get it now. Let it
I
heal.
guess so.
It's not like we
I had
ever go
thought about it.
outside.
That's the problem. This is definitely the most sun I've had in years. Definitely. Like
You should have
4
had an
hours.
umbrella. You should have Anastasia brought you an umbrella.
I didn't think about it until I was already like 3 hours in. I was like, my face hurts. And I was like, oh right, I'm getting sunburned.
Yeah.
And I didn't think about it until it was already too late. So yeah, I should have asked her to bring me sunscreen. Is what it is. We're just gonna have to roll with the punches, but here we go. I'm bleeding for my art, everybody.
Yeah.
I'm on the front lines. I'm on the
But
trenches.
Since we're talking about the weather, real quick, it's now 68 degrees. It was 84 earlier today. I leave work like an hour before most people leave because I get there an hour sooner.
Yeah.
So like I was leaving and it's like nice outside, and I realized living in Michigan and Michiganders, when it's nice, if they're not working, they're outside.
Right.
Can't relate, but that's what they do. So like as I'm leaving,
Yeah.
somebody turns to me, it's like, oh, you gonna go get some sun? I'm like, no, I'm gonna go inside my house and be a gremlin. What do you mean?
Yeah, big time.
They don't know
Yeah.
me. They don't know what I do. Well, some of them do.
I mean, yeah. So it was a mess. It was a mess over here. It wasn't great. But look, I'm just happy to have it. And
yes.
I'm kind of just like everybody that I know that wanted one got one. And I'm happy that all of my friends got it and everything. And like, can we just be excited about this thing now? You know what I mean? Like, can we finally just start being like hyped about this thing together now? Can we finally just be looking forward to this? We're going to play Mario Kart. We're going to have an amazing time. Can we just be happy now? You know what
Please.
I mean? Like, is that okay? Can we make that decision together just as a unit? That's kind of where I'm at. So anyway, that's my war story. We do have some other questions kind of in relation to all of this stuff. So I think let's maybe just start hitting some of these here. The second question that Rybo had, in addition to did anyone order one for Amanda, Rybo adds, what do we think the most ordered item that is not made by Nintendo? So what do you think the most like non-Nintendo item has been pre-ordered the most? What do you think?
Probably those warranties.
Yeah. they're just slapping them on everybody's order. That's
you get $5
right?
pre-warranty. You pay for this. You didn't ask for this, but here you go.
Yep. Yeah, Sean Drew asked in the chat, did Sean get one? Yes, Sean did. He went to not only did he order one, I think from Best Buy, online, he got one physically from GameStop also. So yeah, Sean has two. Sean scalping confirmed, says No Nos. Yeah, fair. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the actual answer to that is. It's probably like, you know what I heard a lot of people in my line, Locklith, a lot of people were getting like carrying cases, and like screen protectors, you know, stuff like that. Yeah. So I was hearing a lot of that. It's probably something along those lines. Yeah.
Do we think the screen protectors are like something else they're trying to sell, or is that like people are like, I need one of these too?
I mean, I do like to get a screen protector for my Switch. Now, I'm going to wait a little bit to get a screen protector for my Switch 2 because there's a very specific, like, you can kind of get like cheap screen protectors or you can get very nice ones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm going to wait for the very nice ones to come out. The ones that cost like $15, you know?
Like the plexi, like the glass ones. Yes. Those, and I'm going to get them on Amazon. Okay. Listen.
Yes.
I'm not going to just get one from the store. It's probably like plastic and cheap. I already got one of those on my phone. Okay. I need something proper for the Switch 2. It's going to be my child that I will carry everywhere.
Yes. And then in terms of like the carrying case, I'm actually so I have a very nice carrying case for my Switch. It is like a leather case. It's a beautiful case. It's made by a company in San Francisco. Is it called Waterfield Designs, I think is what it's called. It's beautiful. And I'm hoping that my Switch 2 will actually still fit in it because, you know, bigger screen, same thickness. That's the whole thing. Right? So
I forgot about the wording in the freaking showcase or whatever. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Sean clarified. Sorry. Sean clarified. He sent me a DM here. I got the Best Buy one online while waiting at GameStop. That's what Sean did. So
wow.
There you go. Yeah. Yep. So, yeah. So I got it. It has to be something like that. Screen protectors or something like that. So, yeah. Okay, we have a question here from Kevin Ainsworth. I know we all struggled, but it does seem like mostly everyone who wanted one got one. So let's talk games. Apart from Mario Kart, what launch games are you getting? Do you have any other launch games other than Mario Kart that are on your purview?
I think I'm going to get the Donkey Kong game. Like, it just looks really cool. It's got the same vibes as Odyssey, which I'm really excited about. And then obviously, I don't know, are the like upgraded tiers, Botwa, like those are also day one also?
Yes.
Or? Okay.
Botwa and Totkey are, and they're also included with your NSO expansion pack.
Okay. Well, then I'll already have those then.
Yep.
So super excited about those. I'll probably restart Totkey when it comes out as well.
A lot of people talking about that.
Yeah.
A lot of people talking about that. So I'm actually looking at some of the other launch titles here. to refresh my memory. Split Fiction is a launch title. I have it on PlayStation already, so I'm not going to buy it again, but that's a launch title.
I don't have it at all.
Oh, there you go. Maybe you can just play it on Switch too. Cyberpunk, again, I have it on PlayStation. I don't think I'm going to get it on Switch too.
Yeah, no.
Yakuza 0, I might get. That was my first Yakuza game, and I love that game. It's the director's cut. It actually has like new content. I might get that. Ryan Turford says, launch games list for me: Deltarune, Bravely Default, Street Fighter 6 with No Sleep for Kaname Date, and DK as launch window pickups. Yeah, fair enough. The big one for me, so I'm gonna get obviously Mario Kart with the bundle. I'm gonna get sorry,
I said oh yeah.
What?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna get Fast Fusion? Yeah, Fast Fusion, the new Fast RMX game from Shinen. I'm definitely picking that up. So there's that. Also, the GameCube stuff is going to be there on launch day, so I'm just going to be playing like Soul Calibur 2 and Wind Waker and stuff like that. So yeah, but I'm not going too crazy, and I probably will get in there and mess around with Totkey and Batwa. I don't think I'm in for like a full replay of either of those two things, but I'm probably going to go in there and mess around with them. You know what I mean? So
I never finished them, Seth.
Yeah. If you never finish them, it's a great time to go in there and finish them. Ryan does make the important distinction. Also, Arcade Archives Ridge Racer. So there you go. No Welcome Tour love. Yeah. No, not really. We'll see. That's another one I'm probably going to play at the Switch 2 event. But
I hate that we have to pay for that.
I know. It's very stupid.
It's stupid. Give it to me for free or I ain't playing it. If you want to hear my review, it's in the bin. Sorry.
It's $10 also. It's not like it ain't nothing.
I don't care.
Yeah.
No.
I'm with you. Yeah, Ribo says plus Fast Fusion is only $20. It's not bad at all. Yeah, I just love their games, so I'm definitely in for that. Okay, Solo says, since you were in GameStop like me, hate you had a different experience, friend. Curious, was anyone talking about price complaints? Did you notice a lot of physical games being pre-ordered? The one I was at had to announce the number that they're down to, just 3 games. Okay, sorry. The one I was at had to announce the number that they're down to when there were like 3 games physical or lower that you can pre-order. People were asking each other what they got as they were walking out. So in my experience, there was definitely like people who they were like talking to each other about what they were pre-ordering and stuff like that. A lot of physical games are being pre-ordered, Donkey Kong in particular. In fact, the guy was like, I think Donkey Kong has got to be like the most pre-ordered game that we're seeing today. Because I assume most people were just getting the Mario Kart bundle. So yeah, a lot of physical games being pre-ordered. I didn't hear anybody complaining about the price in the line because look, dude, they were in the line. They were buying it.
I think we just accepted the price by that point if you're standing in line.
If you're waiting for 4 hours in line in the Texas sun, then look, dude, you're probably okay with the price at that point. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I didn't hear any complaints about the price or anything like that from anybody in line.
Can I just say, I got my current job that I have IRL, not because, I needed to find one, to be an adult. No, I was like, I need one ASAP so that I can start getting some checks in that bank account there, so that I could buy the Switch 2.
Yeah. Amen to that. Drew's in the chat. Drew says, I got my GameCube controller and second dock last night too. I'm going to do the same. You can't pre-order those at a retailer here in the States. You have to get them from Nintendo directly.
I was going to ask you that because I'm debating on the controller.
Yeah. So the controller, I believe, goes live May 13th. You can order the controller from the My Nintendo store. It's probably going to be a nightmare doing that. So we'll find out. We'll see how that goes. Okay. But I'm going to try to get one of those. And the dock and I think that's $64.99 for the GameCube controller. The dock is $119 US. So that kind of sucks, but I do need a second dock because I want to have one for the living room TV and one here at my desk for streaming and video capture and stuff like that.
I understand.
So
But I'm the only one that will use this system, so I'm just gonna have the one that it comes with.
Yeah. So we'll see how that all goes. We'll find out. But I need to do the same, Drew. I need to get myself a GameCube controller and a second dock. That is still on the to buy list. So we'll see. And the final question of the night here. Let me make sure I'm not missing anybody. I think I've hit everyone. I didn't punch everyone. I think I've answered everybody's questions here. I didn't hit anybody.
No acts of violence today.
I thought about it. There was a guy behind me in line. Let me just hang on a second. Let me share this story.
Oh, okay. All right. Leans in.
There was a guy behind me in line who, y'all gamers, listen to me. Listen to me, gamers. When you go to events like this, be clean.
Oh,
Wash
no.
yourselves,
I hate
okay?
this story already. No.
Don't stink. Don't be farting in the line. Okay? All right? So this guy is behind me, and he's got a couple of friends with him. And he smells. Like, he smells like BO and everything. And I could tell that he's just been periodically farting right behind me. Right? And eventually, he does one that's just so loud. Like, he just totally lets it rip. And then he goes to his friends. He goes, "Ooh, that was a good fart."
No. Dude.
Swear to God.
Go home. No.
I almost committed a crime.
Okay.
I almost threw hands, dude.
Can we, for once, as gamers, as a collective, can we please leave those friends at home? Tell them you will pick it up for them, get their money from them, go for them. Because, listen, we're not all like that. But, like, if we keep having these people out in the wild, everyone will think we're like this. Stop. Keep them at home.
Else. It was something else, yeah. I would have called the police, says Pat in the chat. Yon32 says, someone farted in the first half hour of my flight back from Hawaii. I nearly had to make an announcement on the plane. It's like, dude, just like go to the bathroom. You have friends there. They can hold your spot in line. Go to the Chipotle next door, dude. Like, go anywhere.
Everyone at Chipotle is doing it anyways. Go there.
Like, go anywhere else. You're in a public space with other people who are captive with you. Okay? It was bad. Like, it was really bad. And I just thought it was so inconsiderate and gross. And like they're watching like Gravity Falls like loudly behind me, you know. Anyway, so that happened too. just a little icing on the cake there. Final question though comes to us from Yarden.
Oh my God, yes.
Yarden says, if this comes up naturally in conversation tonight, please skip. Yarden, we're not going to skip.
No.
Yeah, Jan30, just be clean and smell okay. It's not a high bar. Yes, take a shower, like wash your ass. You know what I mean? Just before you go to these, take care of yourself, man. Brush your teeth. You know, put on deodorant. Okay? Anyway, Yarden says, I didn't have fun pre-ordering last night at all. It was stressful. It almost made me not even want the system. But I still had it very easy compared to what Sean and Seth and many others in the community went through today. Is it possible to fix the current pre-order system? This topic comes up after every big release, but there never seems to be any realistic solutions. So this is a really, really good question, actually, from Yarden. And I honestly don't know what the answer is, because people like Drew and Fulia, they're in Australia, right? And they've been able to pre-order. Like, Drew has had his Switch pre-ordered for probably like a month now. You know what I mean? Like, it's been very easy everywhere but here. Now, that's for a lot of different reasons. Obviously, population density is a big one. There's more people in California than there is in all of Australia. You know what I mean? Like, we just have way more people here than in any of these other places. Also, there's been a lot of, you know, fears about scarcity and price and the economic recession here and the tariffs. And a lot of people kind of know that, hey, this is the cheapest this thing is ever going to be. So if I'm going to get one, I might as well get one. You know what I mean? So, I'm not surprised that it has had the fervor that it has. But as Yarden points out, this is kind of, and Pat says, in Canada got dragged with y'all. Canada definitely did get dragged with us. And we should just formally apologize. Listen, I didn't vote for Trump, but I do still apologize on behalf of America that Canada has to deal with this too.
That's not the kind of dragging that I want. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Right. I hate that for y'all. Right. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So just, I do apologize to Canada on behalf of the entire country and on behalf of the Nintendo Drive and Carpool Gaming. Sorry, Canada. So I'm sorry. Anyway, I don't know. I truly don't know what the fix for this is. And I think that a lot of the solutions that other countries have adopted, like Japan was doing lotteries, and there's all this stuff going on, and all these different solutions, and the My Nintendo Store, and blah 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 blah. There's all these different ways of going about it, but I don't know that any of them work for America. I don't know that any of them work here, and not in a satisfactory way. Would anybody be good with a lottery system here for the Switch 2? No.
I would be upset. Yeah.
Right? Like, nobody would be okay with that. And, also scalping is a way bigger problem here than it is in other countries, because again, there's just more people here. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, like Yarden says, is it possible to fix the current pre-order system? I don't know. I don't know if it gets better than this. I think that it can be ran more smoothly. I think that retailers like GameStop can, I don't know, pay to have more employees there and not try to cheap out and have those things run more operationally, do things like provide shade for people that are waiting in lines. I think that there's probably little ways.
I do agree. I will vouch for Home Depot. Shout outs to Home Depot. Because there was one time where they did a Black Friday event. You had to get there early. And I was there to get a Christmas tree. They brought donuts out to people. Like, the sun wasn't even up yet, y'all. They brought us donuts. They brought us water. Like, there was no sun on us. We were in Arkansas. But, like, shout outs to Home Depot. Like, they did it nice. And they, let us in. Everyone was kind. Everyone was saying good morning. Like, the vibes were just there because they set the tone.
Right. So, like, spend money to make money. You know what I mean? Like, you look at the line of people at my GameStop, they probably made $100,000 that day. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, dude, you could like you can afford to pay one extra employee to be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, John 32 says no one was farting.
No one was farting. Listen, manners were there. The vibes were set when those donuts came out. Like, everyone was like, all right, I'll be a great human today.
There's a way to make a miserable experience a little bit more manageable for people, and again, it requires care and it requires, spending money. And so, to answer Arden's question, I don't know if it's possible to fix it, but it's certainly possible to improve it. You know what I mean? Like, you could make this a lot easier for people. And, to the credit of places like, from what I understand, again, I didn't order online, but I think Bowser in the chat earlier was mentioning, like, Walmart had a pretty smooth system for ordering online and stuff. And some places kind of had that figured out to where it wasn't like as bad as it could otherwise be. I even saw some people, I mean, like Mitch said, like, he was able to just walk into his store, 5 minutes before we went live tonight and pre-order one. So it's variable, you know what I mean? But I don't know, it's tough to say, but I do think that retailers should kind of invest in things like this, because I think it'd be worth it. Don't try to cheap out. Don't try to tack on $25 of warranty pre-orders onto your paying customers, invoice.
That's
Don't do
wild.
that.
Like, why would you sneak that onto somebody's payment? I don't get it. Anyways.
Yeah, me either. Just, I think spend money to make money is the best way of doing that. And there might be GameStops that did. There might be store managers who, like, when I worked at GameStop, whenever we would do events like that, yeah, we would order pizza and we'd make sure people were taken care of. We'd get, big, cases of water. Not expensive to get water, for people. Go get a few cases of water and pass them out to the crowd. That stuff means so much to people, dude. That would, and I had my water bottle. I wouldn't have needed one, but there are people out there who are in the Texas heat for hours with no water, and they're here to spend potentially like $1,000 or something at your store. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you can afford it. And so anyway, I think that, retailers could do better in that regard for sure. So yeah, I don't know. I guess that's my take on that. Do you have any other thoughts?
Just
Anything
shout outs to
else?
Home Depot. They did it right. Learn.
Shout outs to Home Depot, man.
It
Learn from
left
Home
an
Depot.
impression that was years ago.
You still think about it.
Yes.
Makes an event out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like
Black Friday, which is also very hectic and a whole nother thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, these things should be like a momentous event for people. It doesn't have to be a miserable thing of like we're just waiting here for hours and hours and just whining and complaining the whole time. You could make it fun. You could make it memorable.
I will say, like, the Tears of the Kingdom, like the midnight release, like I went and did that whole thing when it came out. Obviously, I was living elsewhere. It was a smaller place than where I live now. But that was even enjoyable. Like, we all just stood in line, we're just chat. Like, that was kind of like similar to like Nono's situation where everyone's just chatting about the game, everyone's hyping it up, and we're like all excited about it. We've got our like numbers, you know, there's only so many, you know, wooden tablets, which I still have mine. It's on my windowsill over here out of frame.
The salmon plank.
Yep, yeah. The plank that you can chop vegetables on. Even like, I mean, that was a nice small event. I know it wasn't huge, but there was a line for that too. Mm-hmm. So there are special moms in there, certain locations, I'm sure, like you said, that are doing it correct. But obviously, like bigger cities, like where you live, and I wasn't present for mine here to know what it was like, but it was in a mall. I met the guy that works there. I know his name. It's on my receipt.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I'll say this too. I live in a big enough city now. I've got options. You know what I mean? I can go to, I've got 2 other GameStops within 5 miles, you know, let alone places like Best Buy or whatever. You know, like I can go somewhere else, as it turns out. And I damn well might. You know what I mean? Like after this experience at the store that I went to, it's like, maybe I'll just go to your competitor's store, like across the street. Maybe I'll just go to one of your other GameStops. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll have a better experience there. Because I'm the type of person, like, I'm willing to go out of my way for a better experience. And by the way, this is not like an isolated incident at this particular GameStop. Like, we've had nothing but bad service at this GameStop. You know what I mean? So it's like, this is the kind of stuff where I'm like, hey man, like you may be convenient, you ain't that convenient. Like, I'll go a little bit out of my way and I'll go somewhere else. You know, like, treat your customers better. That's what it boils down to for me. So anyways, Lockleth, I think we did it. If you will allow it, I'm going to thank our patrons.
Please do.
Okay. Thank you so much to everybody who supports us at patreon.com/carpoolgaming. If my list would ever pull up here, I would thank you all promptly. Here it goes. Thank you. I'm not kidding. I'm sitting here. I was just waiting for my document here. Thank you so much to our ultimate producers like Jonathan Brown, whose music can be found at linktree/pme.jib. Go check that out. Just dropped a new album called Me, Myself, and I. Please show your support to him. Thank you to Quaggy, who reminds you that the best babes are Xenobabes. And thank you to Technical Michael, who says whether you're a Kevesi or Agnian, you're a Xenobabe at heart. We got links in the show notes, so please show your love and support to our ultimate producers. Thank you to our platinum producers, Smokin Joe, The Captain, Tim Paullin, and Toxic. And thank you to our gold members, Adam K, Anna, Awesome Dave 1337, Brad Moore, Brian Reese, Cecily Carrozza, Dan and Luma, Dannohh, Emily O'Kelly, Jan32, Ligerwoods 330, Mr. Giggles, OldMrFrump, Patrice Mallette, Peje EP, and Stephen Keller. We appreciate y'all so much for your continued love and support. To join their ranks, head over to patreon.com/carpoolgaming. Get a 7-day free trial to the exclusive tier over there and see what all the fuss is about. Patreon.com/carpoolgaming. We'll see you there. Lockleth, I know you already showed your physical earlier, which was your receipt. So please don't dox yourself and show it again.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you can if you want to.
No, it's good.
But where can people find you on the internet?
Y'all can find me here on YouTube at Lockleth. You can find me here every week on the Nintendo Drive and the Nintendo Drive post show if you're a patron. If you're a new patron, welcome. Hi. That show is completely more off-kilter and off-center than this show. So if you
Definitely
thought
is.
talking about notebooks was weird, that show's a whole nother animal, but also very fun. Nice vibes, I would say. I'm also biased. But you can find me on Blue Sky at Locklith. You can find me in the Discord, of course. And if you're curious to see my first impressions of Oblivion, I will be playing that tomorrow night on my Chanel, if you will. So come join.
Let's go. Let's go. I love it. You can follow Amanda on twitch.tv/miles_of_Amanda. For Sean, follow the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/carpoolgaming live. You never know when Sean's going to fire up a stream and spread some sheets over there. Go check that out.
Oh, God. I hate
Follow
it.
Carpool Gaming on Blue Sky as well. Follow me on Blue Sky at $2 Hero if you would like. And if you'd like to add me on your Nintendo Switch, my friend code is SW411280613454, just like Eric Lindros. I think that's going to do it. Locklith, would you like to pitch the engagement comment question to the community here?
I would love to. Thank y'all for hanging out with us for tonight's episode of the Nintendo Drive. We are inching our way to episode 200. Bump that like button if you haven't already. And fuel this carpool in the comments below with your most positive midnight release, Black Friday, something positive. I want to see some positivity in the comments. Let us know if you were able to acquire that bag of the Nintendo Switch 2. Very curious to know. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Also, again, if you have any questions and things you want to know from me before I go to my Switch 2 event on Saturday, drop that too. I'm happy to tackle that. So we'll talk to y'all next week. Love you very much. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for tuning in to this week's episode of the Nintendo Drive. Now, before you drive off, be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube and follow us at Carpool Gaming on socials. Don't forget to check out our awesome Nintendo Drive merch on carpoolgaming.com, and you can also support the show on Patreon at patreon.com/carpoolgaming, where you'll unlock all sorts of exclusive content like the Nintendo Drive post show. Links to everything are in the description. See you next week!
Beak.